On Monday, the government announced plans to scrap Section 21, and there's been a lot of questions raised since that day. Well, here today to hopefully answer some of those questions is the policy manager at RLA, John Stewart. Hello, John. How are you?
Hi.
Right, so what exactly has the government announced?
Well, we need to be clear. The government has, at this stage, announced its intention to scrap Section 21 and a consultation on how that could best be achieved. And they've also committed within that consultation to look at the wider justice system, including a housing court, which they have already consulted on, and also strengthening the Section 8 possession process. That's where you have to give a reason for evicting a tenant. So it is quite a wide-ranging consultation that we're expecting from the government on this topic.
Indeed. Well, speaking of the consultation, when exactly is that consultation being launched?
The government haven't been clear about when that consultation will actually happen. They have said it will be an 8-week consultation, which isn't a long period for something that is so important to the sector. I mean, Section 21 underpins the sector in terms of the ability of landlords to recover property quickly and efficiently through the court system, where if they get the paperwork right, there doesn't need to be a hearing. That is important in giving confidence to landlords to put their property on the market. It's particularly important for those landlords who are letting out their own home, perhaps because they're working abroad or away from home for a period. So it is quite important to the housing supply. We are concerned there may be unintended consequences, but as yet we don't have a clear timetable from the government, but we imagine it will start quite soon.
Now, we know this announcement has made waves in England, but is this going to apply in Wales as well?
Now, housing legislation has devolved, so what Westminster does will not affect Wales. However, the Welsh Government also announced plans to scrap Section 21 there. So while the government's, Westminster Government's consultation will not apply to Wales, the Welsh Government have announced similar plans, and they are having a consultation on their proposals over the summer later this year. So the abolition of Section 21 will apply in Wales, but it will be a different piece of legislation put through by the Welsh Assembly.
Okay, so switching gears now to the RLA's response. What exactly is the RLA calling for, and what are the RLA going to do?
Well, clearly we're very concerned. We know the importance of Section 21 to landlord confidence, to protecting the supply of private rented housing. Demand for private renting is predicted to continue to increase over the coming years. And we've already seen a huge slew of changes to the sector. So seeing another enormous change on top of all that is a real worry in terms of ensuring housing supply. So that's our first concern, is that this may turn off a lot of landlords from the sector. They may look to change the way they let, possibly switching to holiday lets. They may look to leave the sector altogether. So there is potential that particularly vulnerable tenants may find themselves homelessness as a result of this, as landlords seek to exit the sector. It may also change landlords' behaviour should they decide to remain in the sector. It may mean they will look to let to tenants they know can reliably and regularly pay the rent and who will look after the property. So tenant referencing is likely to become a lot more important, and again for those tenants who are unable to prove a credit history, for example, who may be reliable on benefits, or for those looking to escape homelessness, the private rented sector may become a much more difficult place to rent. So the RLA needs to consult our members. The key thing about Section 21 is the fact that it does give confidence to landlords that they will be able to recover their property if they need to. There are a number of reasons that Section 21 is used. It's usually not a no-fault eviction. There usually is some underlying reason. Our research from Manchester Metropolitan University shows that underlying reason is usually rent arrears, sometimes antisocial behaviour, and sometimes a landlord either looking to sell or move back into the property. Now, while arrears and antisocial behaviour are grounds under Section 8, they are not mandatory grounds in every case, and it can be difficult to persuade a judge to grant possession. And Section 8 also takes quite a long time, so the mean time for a landlord to recover a property is over 20 weeks. That's a long time to potentially be going without rent, and where a tenant is not invested in the property, they know they'll be moving out, they will not be looking after it. So there's real issues there if landlords have to rely on Section 8, and there are no grounds in Section 8, for example, for a landlord wanting to sell a property. But the government have promised reforms to the justice system. They have consulted in a specialist housing court, and they are linking that to the abolition of Section 21. They're also promising a review of the Section 8 grounds. Now, if this is a consultation about how to abolish Section 21, then these questions are incredibly important. We have to ensure that whatever comes out of this consultation ensures that landlords have a route to recover property quickly and efficiently, and that will mean improvements to the efficiency and speed of the court service, the bailiff service, and new grounds under Section 8 and more mandatory grounds under Section 8 that will give landlords confidence to continue renting in the sector.
Right, so does this announcement affect someone's ability to serve a Section 21 notice now?
It won't affect people immediately. In fact, potentially it's quite a long way down the line. So for the time being, nothing will change. The Section 21 will continue operating as before, although there will be new restrictions as a result of, for example, the Tenants' Fees Act. If you charge an unlawful fee, you won't be able to rely on Section 21 now. So, but other than anticipated changes, no, Section 21 will continue to operate for the foreseeable future in the way that landlords know and understand.
So do we have an idea of when this will come into force then?
Well, it will require new legislation, so it could be a lengthy process. We expect there to be a consultation, most likely in the summer. The government at the moment is taking anywhere between 6 months and a year to respond to consultations, and then it will require new legislation. When you add up perhaps a 3-month consultation period, perhaps 6 to 9 months to respond to that consultation, the lead-in time for new legislation in Parliament, which would be typically a year, then we're unlikely to see any change inside 2 years. And realistically, changing, for example, the court system and Section 8, and we believe those reforms must come first before Section 21 is abolished. By the time you add all that together, it could be as long as 5 years away. So there's no need for landlords to panic now, but we do need to gather our evidence base, and we have to make sure that whatever comes out of this process works for landlords.
Fantastic. John Stewart, thank you very much.
Thank you.